not relent.
I like what pubg is doing here. It doesn't matter that he might be the cheapest player in Fantasy right now. He is buying so much time for his team to reset. He is not just constantly peeking with them 24. He's sit back waiting, forcing 17 to prioritize him in that shack and allowing for his team to reset. Unfortunately, though, Xiaowu is there. He has another plan and has avoided this first of all.
Now,
Loki again?
Just making go of it, and God, LG just cannot find a path inside of a circle to save their lives, hence why they're always dead, right? But anyway, T5 still just trying to hold it together down here. This is going to be Rosted taking the shots into 17 Gaming with a little bit of combined effort, while we do see TE taking some shots into T5, who really can't move too much. This is just that Valley fight, man.
Yeah.
It's just... nobody really comes out of this clean. And
now is when Na'Vi can consider going down here. They've seen the elimination of one team. They've seen all the damage done on the other side. This is when they can start harvesting on the edge. Xiaobei should be down to this nade. Nope. If not the first one gets him, then at least the second one should. Nope, not going to happen either. Able to dodge and weave, get out of that one. And in the end, it's actually going to be 17 out on top. pubg falls down to blue. Rusted is taken down too. And Loki, the lone survivor of Danawa, continues to rack up points.
This is great. He was watching. He saw out the fact that Na'Vi got distracted for just 1 second, tried to send it in, but the problem with it is his face is still going to be defended in.
Yeah.
Mel is still holding back in that 17 line, as you were talking about, moved in a bit more aggressive, but FaZe, they did a good job of getting control of the southeast early, and day trade has been kind of functioning up into that northern corridor from them, so that's made it a lot more, like, as you were talking about, they really just had to deal with H-Win and get control over territory, and they've got that recess still side that is so strong.
From a group stage now, where everything was pretty quiet in the early game, we have had a very, very action-packed, pretty much entire game here. So phase 5, but only 19 alive, is not something you see too often. There's plenty of space available. Issue is you can't really use that space for a whole lot, especially not if you're Falcons trying to cross a road, and you have the entirety of Day Trade and Expendables sat on the other side just waiting for you.
Yeah, Falcons, I was going to say, there's not a lot that's going to be able to be done there. Circle does pop, FaZe and a Day Trade feeling pretty good, but let's be honest, also Na'Vi to some degree, even though they're not inside the circle itself. They just want to take out this last 17 member that just refuses to go away. And with that, going to go ahead and feed it over the blue. No surprise on either one of those. You know, whenever we've got so few alive at this stage, don't feed a point over, right?
Exactly. You see Na'Vi here. We talked about it with 17 earlier. Just do not allow for any snakes to wrap on through. And they know that there was a Sonics fight happening on the west earlier, and they have not seen that last kill come through. So they know there's H-Win somewhere. They have to respect him. They have to be very, very careful. I mean, we saw just before a solo Loki take out 3 from Luminosity. Every single player on this server has the capabilities of really wounding your team if you're not ready at any given time.
TE is going to have, I want to say, a bit of an awkward path as the line from Na'Vi is starting to be much more northern facing. Good news for H1 is means that he can creep in a bit easier depending on how FaZe manages to spot him out. But the big factor in it is we're also starting to get some more vision from Day Trade into what's going to be happening with this. There's a hillside that TE is trying to use to block out Day Trade's positioning, as you can kind of see FaZe lining up more into that. But I'm concerned about this. Yeah, you can see that Na'Vi is going to be creeping down more and more to the north, and Delwyn is kind of eyeing this direction, but with the way that these hills are working, it's just kind of like popping in, getting some vision, and then feeding it over. And now Example finally gets it, goes for the shots, gonna step away from it, and now feed that information over to his teammates.
What do they do in response to this, though, Na'Vi? They have a chance to back off. They can potentially shoot. They want to wrap down on that southern side. They don't know exactly how many from Expendables are looking this direction, but it seems like it's going to be a stalemate for now. Now you see Example starting to wrap back towards his teammates. I like this play. When there's a wrap on that side, you can be pretty convinced that it's not just going to be one guy. There's more people coming your direction. So Example is backing off, setting up with Millman, because keep in mind, they lost one earlier.
I really like this. We can see the Expendables were like, look, we've been harassed from Day Trade for so long. We're making the Western commitment. Yeah. They're shifting heavily into that Na'Vi line, and they're saying, okay, we're...
Oh, no.
No, he's gonna go for it. He's gonna reveal. He's got to hit these shots.
No! There's no way. That one's gonna hurt. In any case, H-Win at least got some placement points. He was a solo player with 11 alive and he makes top 5, so there's that. Well, that's probably all he can take away from that situation. But here comes Expendables. As you said, this fight was bound to happen eventually. They didn't want to go into Day Trade, and now they're forcing the fight against Na'Vi. Delwyn up and over, finds the first, goes for the second as well, but can't quite connect.
It's going to be Na'Vi that's got their backs up against the wall in this one example, trying to be careful, but it's going to be FaZe also coming back behind, gives no space. And if you've got a team that's back against the wall right now and the Expendables, that is to be terrified of. Daytrade shifting over, but these guys
have to wait him out. I know they're on the edge of the circle. They should be wrapping south into, but as you can see here, there's a lot of open space, but that open space is completely unusable for anything. You don't have your cars with you here. You have to take fights and fight. I think right now Expendables are trying to figure out which play do we go for, and they have to push up now.
Positioning is massive. He does get spotted out. 777 reads it, moving in, but then the lines open up for Daytrade. It's going to be Flash that hits the shots into him, but now the Expendables know that they need to move. FaZe now going to be more aggressive into this. Jeems, Fex, as well as Qrexy all moving down the hillside.
And Flash with just 14 bullets to work with, not going to be any more he can do. Nice reset once again from Tanwoo and Expendables. No flushes so far. FaZe have to be real fast if they want to punish off of this.
I mean, again, just a clean, quick firefight coming out from the Expendables, sitting at 8 kills right now. And FaZe has control over the circle, and they're moving aggressively into this, but they had to leave Gustav back. So 3 members in FaZe now moving aggressively in, gets the shots, knocks 2 of them, and it's going to be Tanwoo on the other side now looking in patiently.
Yeah, this is FaZe written all over it. Great timing on their part to come on down. Again, keep in mind, FaZe hasn't really had any good endgame performances in the group so far, so for them to come out with a win, they would rather play it safe, rather claim that win than go out, potentially risk it all, and end up in third. So nice good finish off here for FaZe in a game that I could only imagine they're able to bring home.
Yeah, this is going to be it for the Expendables. The hillside just too strong. The defense lined up from FaZe. And his Flash is going to be leaning into Gustav, but remember, he's been holding this line for a while now. He knows exactly where they are. FaZe already repositioning him out. This feels like it's a matter of time unless Flash has the biggest play of his life. The hillside could provide it. There is a world where it could happen, but it's not the likeliest of things.
It really isn't. And with the change of the FaZe, not roster but role management on the team, they are much more grouped up these days than they were before. I mean, obviously, Naze have been lobbed on forward. With all of them up on the northern side, there's only really so many places he can be. And what other teams would do in spreading out and trying to find him, look at FaZe. They're set full together again. No risks being taken here. 4v1. Flash literally doesn't have the ammo to get them all at once.
But this is really well done by his part, realizing how they were going to be moving into it, shifting back up, moving into the hillside. He doesn't have a lot to work with, you're right, but he's making sure to exploit as much as possible. Keep in mind, he doesn't know it's 4 members of FaZe that are up at the time, so he's got to be...
He should know.
He should have a pretty good idea that they're all going to be up. Now here comes the hillside push. They now know, start to throw everything in. Flash going to go for something. He's got a shield up, but yeah, not too much you can do there. FaZe, though, 10 kills and just a...
Budging their setup here up close. They're not wanting to allow for anyone to flank around because they know there are teams behind them still. They know they have a Gen G that should be completely untouched, and they do not know how aggressive they're planning on playing. We know they're more passive, but Cerberus don't. So you can see him as in the minimap there. He's constantly looking towards that western side. He has to be ready for potential push through from Gen G.
Meanwhile, we've got good old T5 and question mark like, yeah, guys, just keep on fighting in the hillside. Forget about us weekend over here. It's perfectly fine. Sonic's now starting to move in, seeing if they can get more out of it, but that means that the duo from Cerberus now coming in from the north is going to be a little bit more pinched into this. Daytrade have walked right into a thick position, and they are just going to get pulled apart here. There is nothing they can do.
This is going to be absolute chaos in just a moment, with Tyloo now being able to wrap around Cerberus as well. They've not been shot at by third on 5, and therefore it's gone unnoticed. So the eyes of Cerberus that they are down here. Himas, though, prime nade lopped on over. It's going to take down Shrimsy. Look at this, 11 kills for Sonics, 9 already for Cerberus. These two teams are out for blood.
H1's got to be careful with these peaks. He's already built Mott's going for the spray and narrowly makes it back behind, but with the combined efforts, that's a nice double tap from both sides of this one. Now Tickleton's got to realize, okay, do we go for it or not? We leave it alone. Gen G's coming up back behind him, and suddenly Sonics, what you just did to Daytrade's about to be what happens to you, but that's going to be a unified server standing up against him. Hamas lines into one, but finally Mime spots out what's going on with Gen G, and this is just chaos. Sonics out. How much more of a push do we see come out from Gen G?
Gen G gets the double in very, very good fashion. Slow moves, tree to tree, bush to bush. Don't aggress if you don't have to. But now with opponents right ahead of them, might as well take the shot. Now PO does get knocked, so they will have to try and reset. But Cerberus, we know they're not a team to sit around and wait this one out. They want to go and fight them in return, and they know that they have the numbers advantage.
But they're so nervous. They know the back power's back behind them. And Moss unlocks this firefight. Sure, go for your res on a PO. We're going to go ahead and for the fight on the opposing side of it. Tycon now starting to lead the way with Isaki, but they're walking close range up against Gen G. PO playing the outside of smoke. He's going to go down. EJ defends him. PO's going to go down again. Cerberus walks into the smokes, believes in their firefight
just when you thought they were about to fall apart, here comes Tycoon, one of the powerhouse players of the team. Raptor on the side, spots taming down to low HP, has to go for the reload low. Fortunately, the smokes are there, working in his favor, finds one more as he swings the corner, and now it's just EJ left alive. Does Tycoon get the first aid off? Does the smoke fade away before this one comes to a close? No! The nade on point as Ty Lu from the east finds one, finds two, clean sweeps the south, and then wraps their way up north. They were patient, they sat back, they waited it out, and now they find themselves in the top 3.
Ty Lu, oh, the moving factor now as they are sitting on them. Nice, comfy 5 kills, but the other two teams heavily fortified, looking at a 3v2v2. But really, Ty Lu's the one that's got so much information in this, right? They've just been bouncing around, keeping an eye on everything.
I just can't. I mean, the fact that these 4 players have sat here literally since phase 2 and be like, we can hear that Armageddon is happening over this hill. If we just stare into a wall, maybe no one will think we're part of it, because we just eliminated 6 teams in literally a circle shift, and now you have Dante, Bestelok, Thadadot, and Pathambong sat here going, guys, I think we need something.
I just have like a Jurassic Park mindset coming up when they do like the T-Rex box up and they're just like, don't move and they won't see us. Everything's fine. Everything's okay. Dante, though, has himself at least the information to see how Ty Lu is wrapping in. T5 kind of unofficially assisting question mark's position as well, given the fact that they're running a 1-1 split, kind of puts them a bit closer to Ty Lu's line.
I think with Ty Lu now having just crept their way inside the circle with Longs being sat there, I mean, they know there are only so many places a position can be. The thing is, Ty Lu has been 100% focused on the east, and they're still worried that there could potentially be players in and around the forest area to that south side. Because of how chaotic it was up here, I don't think they have the lay of the land of the exact kill feed track, because how chaotic it was. They're playing it slow, they're playing it smart, but once they realize they're the only ones here, they're going to wait at least for another 25 seconds and see if that last circle goes out of the compound.
And we're seeing the impact of emergency pickups right here. T5.
Definitely, definitely.
Ty Lu, look at we saw them come in just a moment ago with it. And so now managed to get past a lot of those hurdles, get to the positions that they wanted to play from, and managed to make it into the end game.
I mean, if Ty Lu wins this game off of hot dropping Petrichor Road mid 3-wave fight, that is as deserved as they come. They were wise on their timing and the push on the eastern side as well. Normally they've gone full aggro in the past, but here they knew to hold back, they knew to wait it out, because like they could have gone for an extra couple of kills, but it would have risked them too. Here they say, let's just save that one extra kill and make sure that we keep our 3 players up instead.
And I mean, this is kind of what we're looking at for the circle,
have to
right?
come down.
Ty Lu knows that they need to move down into this fortified line. The hillside doesn't have the best of cover to really work with, so Ty Lu's taking this a lot slower, trying to use the hillsides, trying to use the trees as they can, but they don't want to burn a lot of utility. Bit of it, though, is the fact that Ty Lu has been bouncing a lot from firefight to firefight, and they should be decently looted. Yeah, I mean, look at the amount of ammo that we're looking on versus 2 teams that have been entrenched for, what, 4 circles now?
Half the loot on the map lies in this forest. I mean, on various crates. They have like every loot from all the big cities on the entire map has been brought into that forest. So I'd be surprised if you'd be seeing Ty Lu players without utility at this point. They better have looted up because they've had the time to. But here we go. Smoke's being deployed. I would be surprised if they crash all the way into the compound now. Use the trees for cover. Block your car into one. Maybe they have a deployable shield for that extra ankle block as well. Play this one slow, because even in the compound, you still can't see exactly what buildings your opponents are in.
I really like this. Just be slow with it. They've got the utility. They know that. Whenever you're moving into a fight into this position, you have to assume. Remember, we saw them fly over, so they know that there was a firefight happening here earlier. So these squads are likely weak. Instead, just kind of use the war of attrition in your favor at this stage. I mean, look at the ammo on the opposite side of it. Dante running a 4th. What we saw one of the players from Ty Lu running.
Now, while they're on 5 houses dot and therefore the best position, they're split in each their building, and if either of the 2 gets knocked here, there is no way they get each other back up. So at least for question mark, should Dante get knocked on the roof, best of luck. I mean, you could crawl back down on the other side, that being if he does it fast enough, and best of luck could get him up. But the circle is closing in, they're going to have to leave the building eventually. I'd be surprised if they've used a lot of their smokes here. We're seeing 7 smokes in total on 3rd on 5. Ooh, nice use of that smoke grenade launcher. He wants to get it up in the building so he can block off the angle completely.
Shotguns could be big at this stage.
Huge, huge.
So we'll have to see how that comes. As they're not going to have the easiest vision in what's going to be going on with Ty Lu and as they make their approach. But Ty Lu, again, slow, steady. Tree, step down into it. Dante realizing that I can't even take that many shots into what's going on. I need to conserve for the firefight that's going to happen. Blue zone nade not going to get quite far enough to take them out. But question mark still slow creeping up into this one. And with this firefight now going to have to happen, that's just even a bigger beneficiary for Ty Lue.
A lot of damage done, but as you said, that blue zone, they just short. Best of luck now, though, with the smokes deployed, able to get all the way up towards Thanatot. Both of them down to low HP, and Thanatot gets him down with the first shotgun. We'll see if he can find more with it. The pump action, that is, sorry, as he creeps on down once again, nade on point. And now, a 3v2, they still have the dot. It's on Ty Lue to get into the building, but they know that they have them split.
Yeah, I mean, they can just sit there and wait, pick up a kill here, or just know the fact that this person gets fed over to the blue zone, and then it's a 1v3. Ty Lue has all of the cards in their favor right now. It's just a matter of how much they want.
The jammer pack comes out handy as he gets down one Thanatot. You know you're in a 1v2. It's not going to be easy, but if you wait for too much longer, it's going to be a 1v3. They have to come to him. They know where they have him. Longs is blind for a second, but as you can see here, at least the first 3 takes are going to go their way, and in the end, Xiao Yang will bring it home. Not